So people have to know the entire circumstances, and nobody knows. You can't. In fact, oh my God, an insane nutcase, pretend narcissist. If you are around that person, and let's say a tragedy happens, like everything that's going on in the United States today, like everything is an uproar. He is not accountable. He cannot be an eyewitness to whatever tragedy is taking place in front of his eyes. That's how out of it, that's how delusional he really is. Now, I just saw a crazy man a year under me. I mean, I just basically turned 54 a couple months ago. So, he's 53. He killed his parents. And claims, his parents were monsters. An individual that is capable of driving a vehicle, like, why don't you just go drive out? Why don't you just go drive some location that you're able to stay at, far away from your parents? But, okay, you do not know, the circumstances of insane abusers. You might never ever, and the insane abusers are, they're the best actors. They're the absolute best actors. Like, pretend narcissist, you would never, ever be able to tell that he is just incredibly evil behind his closed doors. You'd never ever guess that. You'd never ever. He's such a good actor, but he knows, oh, okay, he can let down his hell. He can let out his hell behind his closed doors. And that's what he did with me. Whatever. Why pretend narcissist is such a damn... Why the hell is he, like, the main character in my life? That's because my children were stolen away from him from insane, abusing child molesters like him. So I went and I saw this crazy YouTube video of 53-year-old white male. He killed both his parents in Virginia. That's awful. That his parents made him do that, but he didn't have the strength in his mind to try to go. He was driving a car. Why couldn't he drive to another state? To just another state in a shitty shelter. So, I'm going to bring up two other incidences with children severely abused. The Mendez brothers. They killed their parents. They were child molested by their parents. Now, of course, pretend narcissist did not believe the Mendez brothers were child molesters himself. Why would he ever care? And you know what? He doesn't care about a child or anyone. So, getting back to Menendez brothers, it was 100% natural for them to go and kill their parents with what their parents did to them. Which I don't know about the whole story, but... So yeah, it would have been natural for Joyce Meyer to kill her dad, which she was homicidal. One thing different about me and Joyce Meyer is I am suicidal, not homicidal. She was homicidal. She would have killed her dad. And then I'm thinking in the worst of the worst circumstances, let's just say his choice was raped to death by her dad. And then the dad was crazy and beat up on the mom. I don't know anything about, except that her dad raped her from 5 years old to 18. And the mom came in when she was a teenager, 16, 17, 18 years old. And nothing. No response from the mom. So, it's just such a horrific act. I mean, it's just such a horrifying thing for you to try to take in. And why, I mean, when you talk about child molestation, I finally, realized, nobody even heard a word I said, because that word child molestation, man, it's just like, no, people just won't listen. And victims have it the worst. Earth is hell because of all the victims in this world. And it's forever. And, okay, I just saw this nutcase. He killed his 2 parents. But I was wondering how much abuse really did happen to him. So he did say the truth. But it's like, really, what did his parents really do to him? And there was a woman, as well as the Menendez brothers killed her. They killed their parents. This one woman lived in a castle, and it was London, England, around British. She lived in a castle, and then she just had child molestation parents to live with her, 33 years old. This is so weird, because this little video that I just saw, he axed his dad's head off. True story about a 33-year-old child molested to death girl in a castle. Well, there was nowhere for her to go. Now, the guy physically could drive out of state and try to ask for help. God, I wouldn't know to trust him. I'd need protection, like another room to monitor him. I wouldn't, I mean, if he's in my place, I need a separate locked room for him with a big window or whatever, a big TV inside his room. Just, you're not allowed. I wouldn't trust him around me. So I would say that he was abused that badly to death. Then it doesn't matter what he does. Like that girl who was over in England in a castle, she killed both her parents at age 33. 53-year-old killed his parents. I don't know the extent, but maybe his parents controlled that 53-year-old, where if he didn't do what he did, he wouldn't have ever have gotten away from his parents. Tell you why he did do what he did. Because he overheard them talking about life insurance. So they were going to take their own son's life. Well, I guess there's a bunch of demons. There's enough demons. I could never kill anyone. I wouldn't know, and, like if someone would kill my son Alex right in front of me and I have the axe and they just killed my son, I would kill him. Okay. Something like, drastic. Like my son's already dead. Then I'm gonna hack you up. Then what good's that anyway? Okay, getting back. That was so weird that he decapitated his dad. Okay, unreal. But a girl in a castle in England, she was 33 years old, had child molesting parents, and she killed him with an axe. Now, he didn't say that he was child molested. He just, What? You know, you're living with your parents. Like, why can't you just get away? But there's a lot in the spiritual realm that causes a person to do and stay where they're at. And I would probably say the demonic world holds you down and held that. I don't know. I'd like to know the follow-up of, actually, the three that I just said. The Menendez brothers. Well, that girl that's 33 years old, I don't know when that happened. She probably died in a mental health hospital. That's what they did with her. So, and I'd like to know the follow-up of, yeah. They already did his follow-up. He's in the mental health hospital until they can make some sense of his story, which there is nothing to make sense of. Unfortunately, nobody noticed this guy was tortured by his parents, even though he's an adult himself. Like, why can't he, people have control over people's lives. And like, I never had any freedom my whole life, except recently. I never had any freedom, but, like, if somebody has total control of your life, totally manipulates and everything else, and then you wonder why that crazy 53-year-old, 53-year-old recently, I should have seen the months that I have to see the date that it was this year. He recently killed his parents to get away. It's that bad, and I have to say that it is that bad. But why can't some in the community, they know where victims are, where the screams are? Like in Lorraine Bobbitt's case, they knew she was abused by him for 5 years approximately. Like, her neighbors heard the screams, heard her cries, heard the torture. But no one did anything. What was the end result? I mean, horrific. That a victim can be blamed for self-defense, but it's complicated self-defense. This is like with Lorraine Bobbitt, it was 5 years of self-defense of his domestic violence, of raping and hitting and verbal abuse. Right. The natural response of a victim is to self-defend themselves against their abuser. Well, that's like super difficult. Like Lorraine Bobbitt's situation, like that was an everyday occurrence. It's an everyday occurrence.